Hey guys, it's Nicole, and I'm back to finally show you my completed Tim Holtz configurations tray. This is a project that I have been trying to bang out for a year now. I bought this tray when they were released last year around this time, and I had tried several times to do it, and I don't know if I just had ADD, but there was just so many like nooks and crannies, and I just felt like I couldn't complete it or it wasn't coming out to my liking. So I put it aside and I haven't really picked it up since, and then I sort of decided with the release of the October Afternoon Farmhouse collection that that paper was totally my style and I loved it and it matched my daughter's room, so I was like, I'm going to try to tackle this tray. And then Rena did her configurations box, and hi Rena, and I told her that that sort of motivated me to do mine because she completed hers. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the final product and what I had to do to make it easier for me to tackle with my inability to fill every nook and cranny was I made it in a shape that I liked with a lot less boxes, and I took out all of these boxes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 boxes I took out. And as you can see, if you look at this one, this is like one of my attempts where I put paper on, didn't like it, or didn't like what I did. But I'm in love with it now. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite projects. I had so much fun doing it. I don't know if I was just in the mood because I had been sick for 3 days and didn't craft. But I love, 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 love the way it turned out. So I'm going to try to show it to you. I hope it'll fit. That's why I'm holding the camera, so I can figure out a way to fit it all on camera. But I'll kind of go over what I did. Here it is. I love it. Love, love, love it. It is so cute. So what I did was I made a 6x6 area, or a little bit bigger than 6x6, just to take up some of the space. And I knew I wanted to do kind of like a sewing theme in here because I have had this Tim Holtz die forever and I never really used it. So let me start from the beginning. What I did was I picked out my favorite papers from the October Afternoon Farmhouse collection, and if you notice, I didn't pick out any of the pink and red ones. They're just not my style, and I really wanted to stay with the gray, blue, and yellow theme. So I lined all of the back of the boxes, and then after I lined everything, I took the Tim Holtz tissue tape and edged everything, and that was like a huge project because the tape does not stick. I had to go in with other types of adhesives and see what worked best to get it to kind of like adhere down. And then after I did that, I really didn't like the tissue tape look, so I took some of my washi tape in this like blue, I don't know if you could see that, like this blue right here, and just put it on some random areas, and I really liked the way that that turned out, just because I wanted to bring in that bluish gray. So that worked out really well. Then I just started decorating, and I am like a super organized scrapper. It's just the way that I am. So before I even started, I went through all my products, decided what I wanted to use, wrote a list of what I wanted in each square. Yeah, I'm neurotic. But I'm really glad I did that because it made for me not messing up a bunch of times and having to peel stuff off like I did initially. So now I'll go through every square and kind of tell you what I did. In the main square, I made a banner using my MFT die, kind of the same premise as the banners I made on that 12 by 12 frame that I made for my friend's son. And then I used these mini spools in the middle just to give it that sewing theme. And I used my circle punch to cut out these circles and then use some basic gray stickers to spell out Reagan. And then I put some vintage lace on the top here with some Maya Road trim, and then I added some yellow pearls in the center. Sorry, I know I'm bouncing around a ton. Then down here I took some wooden spools that I got at Michael's on clearance, used a little bit of vintage photo to age them, and then took some of my seam binding and wrapped it around in colors that matched. And then in the back, peeking out here, you can see 2 of the Tim Holtz hangers that are paper clips. Then this, and this are all from a button collection that I got at Joann's. And these were all cream frog feathers flowers that I cut off and used some of my Lindy Stamp Gang products to dye it. And I couldn't tell you what colors I used. I think this was like Banshee Silver or something. I don't know. I have no idea. And then I used some light blue lace that I got from Carla001 to kind of make like leaves. And then this is a stick pin that I added one of the mini spools onto. So I really like how that turned out. And then this, I used Vintage Photo on some chipboard here. And then this, ooh, I'm sorry guys, is sticky back canvas that I use my distressing tool on. And then I use the Jenny Bolin Weather Vane to make it this grayish color. And then this is just some trim that I had in my stash with some more of the Maya Road flowers here. And then some pearl, 4mm pearl trim there. So I really like the way that that turned out. Then I guess I'll do this side first. This I want it to kind of mimic like a curtain and then a window, and here I put some yellow stickles on the heart. And I'm thinking of using my typewriter and kind of typing up some little things here, like, you know, this was supposed to be home is where the heart is, so I thought maybe I would type that up and just cut it out and add it there. I don't know how, like, blatant I want to be, or if I like that you can sort of tell what it means. These are some of the Studio Calico wooden hearts, and then I put some Prima blue glitter hearts on top of it. Then in here are the Tim Holtz Apothecary glass jars, and I put white glitter in this one with some pearl beads, and then in this one is some, I don't know what you call this, but I got it at Michael's. And then I took some I Am Roses and sprayed them with one of my Lindy Stamp Gang products, and then wrapped the stem around it. And then these are Kaiser Craft doilies, and I put a cameo that I had in my stash inside there. This is a Kaiser Craft frame that I distressed using charcoal ink. And then I had some mini Scrabble pieces, so I wrote Cutie on it, and then used some more of these same flowers, except for I didn't spray them, I left them the white. And then I just backed it with some designer paper and added some pearls. This right here is just a Tim Holtz clock, and I was going to put it to the time that she was born, but I forgot to like move it. I can always just move it back. And then I added just some trim down here to cover it up. I didn't cover all these bottoms here, I just didn't feel like it was necessary. And then this one has the key Dream, and I linked it or connected it to the keyhole and put a little flower right there, and then I used some seam binding up here. Then down here, this is one of the rollers Sherry and I split, and I used some of the twine that came with the October Afternoon collection. This is really good quality twine, and I tied it around it, and then I used some different, what are these called? Cherry blossoms here. Then over here, our last name's Gincho, so I just added this little hook and then this little G charm. This is her hospital photo, and I just put a little heart from the die cut collection and the word together. And then this is a Recollections resin piece. Super cute. Then over here, I put like a little domino piece and an Adage ticket that says play with a Tim Holtz clip, and then I added one of the roses that I colored up. And then these are from the die cut collection too. Then I layered a bunch of metal pieces that I had in my stash, and then I think this top one is from Hobby Lobby. And added that flower. And then down here I happen to have from the dollhouse pieces at Hobby Lobby. I just dirtied it up a little bit with some black soot and kind of added like a rug looking thing, and then left these chairs here. And then this idea I kind of got, Sherry made a paper or a printer's tray, and I liked how she connected her bird cage to the side, so I sort of scrap lifted that, and then I like how the bird is like coming out of the cage. And then here's another one of those doilies. And then here I was going to write like grow baby grow, because it looks like she's growing. And then over here I used the Recollections shutters, which fit perfectly here. Wrote Sweet Baby. I've had this in my stash for a while. And yeah, that's it guys. So here's the finished product, and I'm super in love with it. I think it turned out great. Hope you enjoyed and this inspires you. Bye.